Hi, I'm Jesse Ahmet, host of Valley News Now, and I have a fantastic guest here for us today, Galit Ventura Razin. Once summer rolls around, people kind of start thinking, uh-oh, and all of a sudden we just hit summer. Up here we had such a cold stretch that now all of a sudden it hit us. And we're kind of not prepared for it. So whether it's summer fitness goals or just because you're entering that busy season with kids and they're out of school and now you're going to start running to activities, I know just the person who I just met, Galit, who can flip your uh-oh mindset just in time for summer break. So thank you so much for joining me, Galit. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Jesse. It's so nice to be able to talk to you from the other side of the country, right?
Yes, yes. Where you've had a little, really up until about a month ago, we still had snow. It was crazy. It was totally crazy. And then now we're in the 90s. So it's
Of
weird.
course. Oh my gosh, crazy for you guys.
It is. So tell me a little bit about how we flip that mindset when all of a sudden we get into a season that we really feel like we're unprepared for.
Well, the sun comes out. We're outdoors now a lot more than we're used to, from being indoors quite a bit more during the winter months. And a lot of times what happens is we're like, oh wow, there's so much more daylight. We've got a
Yeah.
lot more going on with our families, the kids, vacations, and all of that. And the first thing that I always say is just take a step back, take a deep breath, take it in. And I like to be outside. So for me, it's taking it in outside. Just take a step back and think, okay, what do I want this summer to look like with everything that I have going on?
And to have those goals. Now, I've been kind of Facebook stalking you a little bit and looking at all of your things, which is so motivational. And like I talked a little before we got on, I think a lot of women in this 30s, 40s, 50s, we kind of reach this point where maybe we're evaluating that in our lives and deciding how we're going to go forward. So just like a summer, you talked about, having goals, maybe 3 things that you're going to set your mind to do. So I would love it if you talk a little bit about how you prepare for the summer, like you were starting to tell us there.
So many people are in different stages. So if it's you have kids or you're working full time or you're trying to do both at the same time, the one thing that I always share is what is it personally? And I'm going to go personally.
Yep.
What is it personally that you're going to be doing for your self-care with all the crazy that's happening this summer? So let's set 3 goals. I don't know what it is about the number 3. I like it too, Jesse. It's always about 3 goals.
Yep.
And for me, a lot of times I say, let's start with personal health and sometimes financial,
Yeah.
right? So sometimes it's also financial because we like to have financial goals. Financial goals let us get where we want to go.
Yes.
So it might be, I'm going to get out and go for a walk every day, especially when the weather's a little nicer. Let's take advantage of that.
Right.
Especially in snowy areas where you don't get that opportunity a lot.
No,
So
we got to
let's
take
get
it while
out
we
there.
can.
Right? You have to. So let's make that goal. What's our health goal going to look like? And this is just something about moving your body. That's what I mean by health goal.
Okay.
A lot of us today spend a lot of time sitting.
Yes.
And our bodies are not used to that. That's not what they're meant for. So let's get out there and go for that walk. If you're someone that likes to go to the gym, go for it as well.
Nice.
But the first thing I would think of is health. The second thing for a lot of people would be either family, relationships. Now, this could be going out with your best friend,
Yeah.
your significant other, spending time with your children. What kind of goals do you want to set this summer with quality time with the people that you enjoy being around? So that's kind of my little second goal that I like to set,
Yes.
that a lot of people enjoy. And then the third one would be, what is it I want to get done this summer that keeps being put on the back burner
Yeah.
and I never seem to have the time? And maybe I could finally get it done this summer.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. So looking, back at some of your things as well with the goals. Okay, so you've got your 3 goals. It's so easy to get kind of pulled into, all right, it's summer, maybe I'm going to take a little bit time to relax, and then that just kind of rolls through the whole summer. We forget to set goals. We forget that we need to kind of be working towards those every day. So that's such a great thing. I love what you talked about, self-care. I feel like the older I get, the more I realize that if we don't do that, we really have nothing to give, to anyone else. And when you think, oh, I don't have time for that walk, or I don't have time for the gym, but when you take that time, it's like you are totally refreshed.
And I have to speak to the thing that a lot of people say, which is, I don't have the time.
Yeah.
It's actually not true. You're not making the time. So I'm a big reframe girl. I like to reframe things.
Nice.
And it's so common in society to constantly say, I'm too busy or I don't have the time to, but that's not true.
No.
So instead, evaluate where your time is being spent and ask yourself, where can I fit this in because it's really important to me? And then all of a sudden, everything changes. So I'm someone that likes to get up before my household in the morning.
Yes.
I still have one kid that lives with me. I have three, but they're adult kids now.
Nice.
And I like to get up before everybody and have that quiet time. Go out in the
Yes.
backyard and water my sunflowers, check my garden in the front where I'm growing my zucchini and fun stuff like that. Maybe read, watch my favorite Netflix show, whatever it might be, meditate, get on the
Yeah.
computer, answer some emails. But I'm going to tell you, if you don't make the time, you will never have it.
So true.
And sometimes it's a challenge to find it, but I know that you can. But definitely self-care, Jesse, I completely agree with you. If we don't take care of ourselves, how can we take care of everybody else?
It's so true. Just continually find that when I take time to invest in myself, it goes so much better, right?
It really does.
Oh,
I
and then-
completely agree.
Yes. Oh my gosh, so much. And then financial was another goal you talked about. And again, it's something we don't think about day to day. You know, we kind of can easily spend money here to there, just like we do time. But I think you're so right to really think about what those financial goals are and how that can, you know, maybe it's a vacation with your kids or whatever it is that you're trying to reach in that goal. But to be thinking about that every day as well.
Yeah, for me, the financial goal is based on, is there something maybe that you want to save money for?
Yeah.
Is there something that maybe you want to get for your kids or your significant other, even during the holidays? I know it sounds goofy, but start planning now. It's not
brilliant.
that far away
Yeah.
sometimes. And when you sit down and you think, I really want to set this goal, and sometimes something as simple as putting $10 a week away
Yeah.
or $5. It doesn't matter what it is, but at the end of summer, you'll be surprised. Or you cook a little bit more than going out to
Yes.
eat. And I know growing up, when my parents didn't have a lot, sometimes the summer vacations would mean sticking us all in the van and going camping in a tent an hour and a half away
Yeah.
from where we lived. It doesn't have to be this extravagant goal. Sometimes it's just as simple as driving down to the beach if you have a beach nearby and taking the kids for a few hours and just spending some quality time, or better yet, go by yourself and grab a book,
Ooh.
put up an umbrella and sit on a nice chair. I know I love the beach, so that's a great
That
thing.
sounds unbelievable. We have a lot of
because I live in the desert.
Oh, but for real, so we don't have the beach, we don't have the ocean, we're stuck in the middle, but we have a ton of lakes. Minnesota is the land of 10,000 lakes, so summer is
Yes.
lake time for sure.
And you guys have beautiful lakes. I have family that live there. and
really?
It's just so beautiful there.
It's so fun in the summer. I think people think that we are just cold all the time, and it's like, no, it's hot. It's hot and sticky and muggy in the summer, and thank goodness for all the lakes.
Agreed, completely agree. But anything that you can fit into your time and enjoy the outside.
Yeah.
There is something to say about the fact that the sun and the outside and nature and water,
There is.
whatever you can be around, is physically healing. And it
It
actually
is.
feels so good. That's why so many of us don't feel so great when it's winter and we're stuck inside all the time.
So true, yes, and we were feeling it. It was the longest winter, I think. It just wouldn't end. It was just storm after storm in April. And April is not, that's not the time for storms. I kind of want to backtrack a little bit to the other goal of what do you want to get done this summer? You know, again, we do this all the time, right? I'm going to get this done when summer comes. I'm going to clean out the closets. I'm going to whatever it is. I'm going to redo my fitness plan. We're going to eat healthy this summer. But it can get just taken away from us if we aren't intentional and thinking about doing that every single day.
Yes, so for me, what helps me succeed in those areas
Yeah.
is I wake up in the morning and I pretty much know what I want to get done that day.
Okay.
And I set what I call logical and realistic goals.
Okay.
So that way I can feel accomplished by the end of the day.
Nice.
And it might be a to-do list from work that I have to get done today to feel like I can come home and put the computer away.
Yeah.
Or it might be that I'm a big organization girl. It feels like I'm never caught up with organizing. I don't know what it is. And so this over the weekend, I set a goal that I wanted to work on my closet and
Mm,
maybe get rid of some of the winter clothes that I don't wear anymore because
good
it's easier to
idea.
get rid of what you're not wearing
Yes.
and donate it. So those
Yeah.
type of things, when you wake up in the morning, have those goals. This is what I want to get done today. And
Mm.
please include fun. Don't always just make it work, 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 work. If it is involved with your job, it's different. Get your work
Sure.
done, come home, get outside, breathe, take some fresh air in, go for that walk, whatever it might be,
Yeah.
and then go ahead and jump into what I call your personal goals that might be associated with the house.
Oh, I love that. Yes, some time for fun is very important, isn't it? Otherwise, it gets just kind of drudgery all the time.
I like to try to make fun out of everything that I do, but sometimes it's a challenge. So
I
just
feel
do
that
your
from
best
you.
to find the fun. Yeah, try. That's all I can say is try. Some things we have to do.
Right.
It's just those things you have to get done, like the dishes that were in the sink this morning. They had to get done. So I got them done.
Oh my goodness, it's so true. I wanted to talk a little bit. I should have maybe done this at the beginning, but just to backtrack a little on some of your many, many accomplishments and where you come from. So, you are the co founder of Everyday Woman TV and the author of Successful Women's Mindset. And you specialize in empowering and encouraging like minded women. It's such a pleasure, again, to have you. Is there other things on the horizon maybe that you'd like to share with us?
Yes, I'm actually working on my next book.
Oh,
Yay!
exciting! Yay! All
So I
right.
wrote the Successful Women's Mindset about 6.5 years ago. Never think I'd be an author. It was just crazy for me to
Wow.
even think about that. And I just felt a calling to do it because I wanted to help women realize. And it's not about success in the sense of how to make a gazillion dollars. It's
Yeah.
more about believing in yourself and knowing that
Hmm.
you're a leader and self care and things that are
Yeah.
very logical for women.
Hmm.
So my next book is called The $1 Million Mindset.
Nice.
And what I'm doing with that book again, it's really related to living a limitless life and having financial freedom. And
Mm.
this is at any level that you're at today. It doesn't matter. And I just feel like with how blessed I've been to build up 4 businesses, be an entrepreneur for
Yeah.
27 years, I just think it's so important for women role models to get out there and show other women that it's possible. I've been a single mom for 10 years and living on one income. And I just think
It's.
that we as women should pass on the legacy, Jesse. And
Hmm.
I'm excited about the next book because I think this is really going to be a 4-step blueprint to achieving that.
And that is really important. We've talked a lot about that in our community as well. Is when women divorce, our income often goes down a lot more than men. We've spent a lot of time with our families and that kind of thing, and what a challenge that is. And I think for a lot of women, it's overwhelming, and they just can't, think how can I do this? How can I afford to be a single mom? How can I, provide these things for my kids? So this is really exciting. I can't wait to see this new book.
Yes, and I'm excited to be able to share, as you said at the beginning, I'm sharing my experiences, but I'm
Yeah.
also sharing logical steps of how I've been able to get where I am today in 27 years. It doesn't happen overnight,
No.
but my hope is that from my experiences, I can get women there faster. And what's wrong with getting somewhere faster that you want to go or a goal that you want to accomplish? So why not share the successful steps instead of how many times I've failed because I'm human. And
Right.
so then maybe they can follow the blueprint to get there following the steps that have been more successful for me.
That's wonderful, Gayleen. It's yeah, so refreshing. Sometimes I think as women we think that we can't be empowering each other as well, and that's what we need to be doing. We need to be empowering each other, and together we all are so much stronger than we are apart.
And I always say, if there's a woman out there that's listening and she doesn't have that support system or those people around her, they
Hmm.
do exist. We live in
Yes.
such a great technology world that when I was going through my divorce 10 years ago, I went online and found a group to support me that I
Oh,
didn't even
wow.
know because social media makes it so easy today to find safe environments
To
to
connect.
support you. So I always say that if you're not surrounded by people that empower you, and they're your biggest cheerleaders. Find them in your community, at organizations. I'm a part of a lot of women's organizations, and I just think that they do exist, but sometimes we think they don't, when
Right.
that's the only experiences we've had.
Right. If we've only had those negative experiences, but it's good,
Yes.
like you said, to say, yes, they exist. And if you don't see it right around you, reach out and find it, because thank goodness. Those are the positive things about social media, right?
I believe so. I've had such great experiences with women I've met from all over the world that I never would have met just in my community, that have been like sisters. And it's
Oh.
just a great thing.
It is. It's an amazing thing. Well, thank you so much, first of all, for all the work that you're doing, empowering and encouraging women. And I can look forward to your new book. That's going to be really exciting, Gayle. Thank you again,
Thank
and
you.
thanks for
Thanks,
visiting
Jesse.
Fargo, North Dakota here via Zoom.
Thank you for having me.